Hey, how y'all doing? It's Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I wanted to do a quick video on VirtualBox. It's a program that I use heavily just to test out different distributions of Linux. You guys can do the same to test out any operating system you want to, from Mac OS to Linux to Windows. You can test out any OS you choose. So let's see. I'm gonna start by showing you guys how to do it on Windows, and that'll be the easiest way. So let me go to my VirtualBox. Okay, so let's just open up Firefox, and this is the link right here. You need to go to is virtualbox.org. Oh, and just a little bit more explanation. VirtualBox is similar to VMware. Well, it's just like VMware. It's just created by Oracle. That's the only difference. So I've already downloaded it, but I just wanted to go through and show you guys. So you click on Windows Host, and it'll start to download. Okay, so it's pretty simple. And then, just like everything in Windows, it's simple double click of the exe. It will go through and install VirtualBox onto your system. So let's give it a minute to install. Shouldn't take that long. And it's funny because I'm installing VirtualBox within a VirtualBox. That's pretty funny. So yeah, we're gonna go through the installs. And like I said, it's very simple in Windows. I'm surprised most people are not using this, but okay, so we finished with the install. Okay, so let's go down and open it up. So I'll show you guys how to do it. Oh, it automatically opens up. I forgot about that. So really all you have to do is go to any distribution website you want to, and I'll do a quick demonstration. I won't take you through the whole install. I'll just do a quick demonstration. I'll just show you guys. So let's say you want to try Ubuntu. Just go to ubuntu.com or ubuntu.org, whatever it is. I don't know if that's the right site. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's it. Download the desktop version. Just download it and make sure you get the exe. I mean, not the exe, the ISO. You can donate if you want to. And then just hit, it'll start to download the ISO, which I don't need to do that. Let me just find one on my server. I know I got some ISOs on the server. Right there. Let's see if I can find something. Oh yeah, I got my network set up wrong on this VirtualBox. But anyway, just find that ISO and then follow the steps by creating it. And yeah, let's just do it like this. And it'll pick up whatever you type in. So you can Ubuntu Linux. If you got 32-bit, select 32-bit. If you got 64, select it 64. And it won't show the 64 if you're using if you have a 32-bit processor. It's not supported by the processor 64-bit. It won't show up 32-bit. So I've seen people ask that question on different forums, saying, well, I'm trying to install 64-bit, but it's not showing up. It's only showing 32-bit. Well, this is why, because your architecture is 32-bit of your system. It's not going to allow you to install a ISO that's 64-bit, since your architecture is there on your host machine. So pretty simple. You can go through, select the memory size. What I do is I create a virtual hard disk, and I make it. I normally use the VirtualBox image, this image, which is fine. You can create a virtual hard disk, it's fine. And I believe this, VMDK is what is the format that it stores the data for VMware when you're creating virtual boxes in VMware. So you can switch back and forth between VMware and Oracle. You can create the VM in VirtualBox, and then take the virtual machine file that's stored in your system and move it over to a computer that's running VMware, and add that VM to VMware and run it in there. So it's interchangeable. But just note that if you do use the VirtualBox, this image, you can't. I mean, it's difficult to transfer. I mean, to convert it to where you can use it in VMware. So if you want to use it in VMware for whatever reason, then you would want to put it in the virtual machine disk. Otherwise, put it in the VirtualBox disk image, because it's a way to do it. But I've heard people had issues with basically converting it to the other format, so it may not work. So it's a good thing to know. So next, I do that, and then I always do dynamically allocated, because if you've seen back in here, it allows you to select the hard drive space that you want to give it. Yeah, right here. This is where it does. It does that. So if you select dynamically allocated, it will only use the amount of hard drive space that it needs at the moment. So and then as you add files to it, it'll grow in size up to the maximum amount that you set. But if you do fixed, then it'll take up 10 gigs on your computer's hard drive, even though you're not using 10 gigs or whatever you select. So I always select dynamically allocated, because I have some VMs that I set it to like 40 gigs of space, just for test purposes or whatever. And the hard drive space that it takes up on my system is only like 2 gigs or so, and I'll show you that on my Linux box in a minute. So that's it. Next, and you select your hard drive size, so 10, and it'll create the VirtualBox for you. And then what you do is you right click on it, hit settings, and this is where you go in and do the advanced settings. So you can do share clipboards, where you can copy paste between the host and the guest machine. You write a description. You can even enable encryption on it. So you get into the system. This is the motherboard setting. So you can set the memory. You can set the memory as high as you want it, but it'll only use what's in the system. So I normally give it like a gig or so, just when I'm testing out something. It really doesn't matter. And then I got 4 CPUs, I believe, on my computer. I got an i7, and so I'll select. I'll give it like 2 cores if I'm really trying to test it. Run some extensive stuff. And then, it's not gonna allow me to select anything, and that's mainly because it's probably because I'm running it inside of a VM. So, but anyway, you can select that, and then display. You can set the display as high as I set it as high as it go. then this is where you add your ISO actually. So it creates a control. You can create a controller, or you can use the controller there. So I normally use the controller there. You can just click on it. Left click on it, and then hit the this thing and hit choose virtual optical disk file, and this is where you go in and select your ISO. So you go in, find your ISO wherever you downloaded it, and select it. So when it boots, it'll automatically boot using the drive, just like a desktop computer or whatever. You know, you set in the BIOS that you want it to boot via the CD or USB, whatever. And you just set that ISO there. So once that's done, you can go through and check the rest of it if you want to. You can set network adapters. You know, you had a bridge adapter and the NAT. So one of those two will work. I forget which one it is, but yeah, bridge is it'll allow it to create its own virtual adapter, and it'll pull an IP address, a separate IP address for that machine, like it's connected to the network without it actually having an adapter. It'll create like a fake adapter and give it an IP address, so it'll be separate on the network. So then you got, you know, serial ports, USB. You can set all that however you want to. Share drives. You can set up a share folders or the auto mounts. And that's pretty much it. And this is the user interface. So whenever you start up the machine, it'll have these going across the interface like this right here. Just showing you in my real machine, real virtual machine. That's just all those options. Just saying which ones you want out there, and then the ones at the bottom, like right here. So cool. And so you just double click on it, and then start your install, and good to go. And just go through the install it, and you can have fun testing out different operating systems. You can create as many as you want. And just to show you some of mine, so we'll just minimize this. Yeah, here we go. I got a few. I had a PFSense computer, which is just a router. It's just something I was testing out. Tergos, Ubuntu Mate, Kali, Parrot, and Ubuntu server. And I just basically set all this stuff up just to play around with it. Just to learn something new, learn some new operating systems. So, and then I also wanted to show you guys that it doesn't take up much space when you set up those dynamic drives. So like this Tergos drive. So yeah, this is the actual. So that's the size. Right now it's 5 gigabytes, and I'm pretty sure I set that in Tergos thing to like 40 gigs or so. Drive space, I set 50 gigs. So it's a 50 gigabyte hard drive, but it is dynamic, so it only takes up as much space as it needs at the moment, and it'll grow and grow. The only thing you can't do is shrink it, like you delete a bunch of files or something off of it, or uninstall programs. It won't remove that space once it creates or adds to the dynamic space. You can't take it away. So yeah, and I just did it in Windows just to show you guys. But if you're familiar with Linux, and or if you're trying to learn, most Linux operating systems They have what they call a package manager. You go in and you can install VirtualBox directly from the application manager or the app store in Ubuntu like that. You can install it. It's all there. And it's very simple. I might do another video just showing you how to install it on Linux. But that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. Like, share, subscribe to the page, to the movement, and of course, keep it techie.